This is going to be a look at Patrick Queen's play in recent weeks for the Ravens. He's really emerging as not just a reliable guy, but a playmaker, which he showed that trait in his rookie season with the Ravens. Look, a couple of things I want to mention about Patrick Queen before we get into the film. He just turned 23 2 months ago. I reflect on where I was as a 23-year-old in terms of my maturity, ability to be reliable. And Patrick Queen, in the last 2 years plus, has been asked to be, reliable, a playmaker, a star at various points against the best football players in the world at age 21 and then age 22. He just turned 23 this year, and he's clearly having his best season ever in terms of consistency, being in the right place at the right time. Inside linebacker is a very difficult position. If you don't know, it's going to be difficult to convince you of that. All the positions on defense are difficult, particularly these days with the rule set and the way the officiating is done. Patrick Queen is on his way to career highs in QB hits. He has 8. His career high is 10. He's on his way to he has his career high in sacks, which is 3.5. He's at his career high in passes defense, which is only 2, and pass coverage has been one of the knocks against him, which I understand. He's got 49 tackles through 7 games. His career high is 106 in a 16-game season his rookie year. So he's on pace to exceed all of his statistical designations or career highs. I think he's playing great, particularly in the last 3 games. Had 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack against Cleveland. Seems like he's been making big plays lately when the Ravens really, really need him. And one of the things I'm going to talk about in this video is the same time that we're seeing him be used as a blitzer, have an impact there, is the same time that we've seen him have a little bit more consistent run reads, whether he's the front side inside linebacker or the backside inside linebacker. And the same time we've seen his 2 or 3 best pass drops in terms of zone. So that's where I'm going to start off the video. This is honestly not going to start off with Browns film. I'm just going to recap some of the things that we've seen from Patrick Queen in recent weeks. So this is against the Bengals. This is his interception of Joe Burrow. Talked about this in another video. This is a little bit slowed down. You'll get to all 22 and then the end zone angle footage. You see him turning his back to the quarterback, almost like he kind of knows the play, or he at least understands the route combination that could be coming here. And yeah, Joe Burrow could throw it underneath to the flats. There's a big conversation right now between Ravens fans about, Lamar throwing the check down and all this thing. All quarterbacks have trouble missing those things sometimes. All quarterbacks want to get the ball downfield to their receivers. That's a natural inclination because that's the primary part of the read. In this case, Joe Burrow happened to think that Jamar Chase was going to be open on his in cut, and he was not. Patrick Queen played it brilliantly. Sometimes defensive players just do a great job putting themselves in position. Too often, we kind of judge offense because we see these 48-45 games sometimes, or in the playoffs, you see a 38-35 game, and you think offense is designed to be unstoppable. Well, they want it to be, but it's not. Sometimes defensive players do a great job. In my opinion, Patrick Queen and Josh Bynes, Malik Harrison, but Patrick Queen's pre-snap recognition of formations and the threats that exist from those formations, I think that's the biggest development. Not saying that his play isn't huge, because it is. If you don't recall, this is right after the failed 4th down that we had on a 4th and 1, possibility for us to either convert or push the ball downfield and get a touchdown, and we just missed the connection. This was a huge play to get us the ball back. I think we end up going down and getting a field goal after this. So a huge moment. Great hands shown. He missed 2 interceptions earlier in the year. Yeah, I'm not trying to gloss over that, but I just feel like the guy's playing really well, especially in recent weeks. They're using him as a blitzer, and he's doing a great job selling these sometimes. After watching the Browns film a little bit, he's not tipping his hand on some of these blitzes, or some of these run blitzes, I should say, where he recognizes the play, and he reads something quick and then goes. This is a design stunt between him, Hamilton, and Owe. It's really cool the way they're doing it. Hamilton's stunting all the way across. Owe's going upfield, and then Queen is going through the B gap. So we're really trying to overwhelm them 3-on-3, tackle, guard, running back, versus these guys. And once Hamilton kind of folds inside, you see that draws the running back's attention and the guard's attention, just clears things up for Queen. Great job of scheming it open. Those guys are working together at times when they're blitzing. Hamilton has shown a knack to do it as well. This one, I feel like he's doing a fantastic job of waiting till the last second to show it. It is a completion up to the top side. We're beat Geno Stone by the tight end, Knox, who gave us trouble. We might see this team again, and we got to come up with some better ideas of how to cover the tight end, because I think we did a great job of covering Stephon Diggs and other guys. But you can see Queen has timed this up. You'll get the end zone angle here in a moment. Waiting for the running back to commit. I think he's responsible for the running back in man, by the way. But once he sees the running back commit to blocking, he goes ahead and brings the blitz. It's like a delayed stunt. He's trying to fit through the guard opening this way and the running back opening this way, and they both do a good job. They're NFL, running back and lineman. They do pass pro drills every single day, slide protection, big on big, etc. Patrick Queen is making plays, man. Multiple forced fumbles, 2 this year, a fumble recovered, 3.5 sacks. I mean, he's 23 years old. Yeah, there's a lot of people who judge this guy based on the mistakes he made at age 21 and age 22, and rightfully so. He's a professional linebacker, so you want him to play well. Here he is in coverage on this 3rd and 5 when Owe gets the penalty to give the Giants the first down. Would have been a 4th and 1. He's playing well. He's executing multiple concepts. I feel like he's much better in pass coverage. Whether he's better in pass coverage, good enough to be, better than a lot of other linebackers in the league, I don't know. But at age 23, at a time when a lot of guys are just entering the league, he's in his 3rd season, and he's making plays. This one really impressed me. I don't have the end zone angle. I'm not sure why, but I like how he takes on the block. I like how he doesn't try to pick a side. He doesn't try to go like over the top or try to fit it, underneath, which can sometimes actually open up a bigger gap. I wish I had the end zone angle, but you see him. Look, he just butts into this lineman. I don't know why I was doing that. He just butts into the lineman. And sometimes you got to do that. Just stuff the hole. That's it. And it ends up being a 2-yard gain for Saquon Barkley. We played great run defense against the Giants, and I thought Josh Bynes was a big part of it. This is a run-through, a possible run-through. Everything's not perfect. Now, some of you aren't going to like my explanation for this. I understand that. That's no problem. Philosophically, we like our linebackers to be downhill. You get a combo block here on Urban on the front side. And the way they're trying to work this is combo up to the backside inside linebacker. Josh Bynes is pressing downhill. We want our guys to press downhill. In my opinion, and I don't have the end zone angle to show you, this is a run-through opportunity for him. Am I saying it's going to be a tackle for loss? No. The guard is going to combo off, but that's the whole point, okay? You want to force them to combo off sooner. Why? That helps your D-tackle out. The sooner you can alleviate him from this double team, or combo is what it is. It's not a double team. It's combo. The better off we'll be. And me, personally, we would say he's catching here, whereas Josh Bynes is trying to press forward. Now, he is the front side inside linebacker, so there's a little bit of difference in terms of the read. So everything's not perfect, at least for me. I think that he should be pressing the line of scrimmage, coming downhill, forcing something to happen. Think about Ray Lewis's tackle to end the game against the Chargers years ago. He was the backside linebacker. The guard pulled, and he got a run through in the front side A-gap. Now, is it going to be a tackle for loss? No, I'm willing to admit to you it might not be. The guard might combo off and pick him up. But in my opinion, you're going to create a little bit more of a wall by playing downhill rather than just catching 3 or 4 yards off the line. He still gets credit for a tackle. It's not a horrible play, but that's just my philosophy. I actually love this. I love that pre-snap, Queen, Humphrey, Bynes, and Clark are communicating, and Queen doesn't seem to be on the same page. I'm okay with it. They're at least trying to communicate. Watch him sift through this blocker. I kind of look at this as like, the Master Jedi telling a young, student something to do, and the young student saying, hey, hold on, that's not right. That's what it appears to be to me. I love how he sifts through as the backside linebacker here. I think he's playing fantastic. Like, I just don't think he's playing well. I think he's playing fantastic for us. Is there moments where he looks bad and maybe doesn't make the play exactly the way we would like him to? Well, sure. I mean, he's on the snap damn near 100% of the time. That's going to happen. In the NFL, the modern NFL, you're going to have plays like that. I love the communication, and yes, we're not on the same page because we got 13 personnel, so we got 2 tight ends here, we got 1 here. It looks like to me Chuck is rolling up to this side, so they're telling Pat to move back over here because we really look like we're giving up a soft edge over here off this side with Owe possibly being pinned down and our forced corner being a little bit off the line of scrimmage. But be that as it may, that's not where the run play went. He fits underneath of this guard. Barkley cuts it back. Beautiful play, man. Now let's get to some Browns film. Some of them going to start off with some pass coverage. This is a little 3rd and 5. I don't remember what happened on this. I thought this was well short, but seems to me this was ruled a first down. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's to the 8, and I'm just not tracking it well. I don't think his pass coverage is perfect sometimes, but this is where Patrick Queen's going to be consistently. Against these 2x2 sets or 3x1, he's going to be to the boundary. Teams are going to isolate him. This is what the Packers did last year. This is what the Rams did to a certain extent, attacking him to the boundary, away from the nickel defender. If we see a huge improvement in this right here, then we've got a certified high-level linebacker because he's doing everything else well. I'm showing it to you. Like, it's not just a claim. You're going to get, people saying Patrick Queen is this, Patrick Queen is that. I'm showing you the film. You can decide for yourself based on what you're seeing. If he starts to play these situations better, where you got 2 receivers to the boundary, and we've got a corner, and then, they're calling him the will, whatever, and then a safety. If we start to play better to the boundary, 3-on-2 in our favor, then we've got a real certified linebacker, a guy that's playing at a high level. I actually really like what we're doing with Kyle Hamilton this game, kind of moving him into the box some. We did it a little bit against the Giants as well. Got a pretty decent version of cover 3 here for real to trips. Like, you can see the deep thirds are covered. You can see we've got this 4 under designation. Yeah, you've got a guy out in the flats, throw it. You got the under route. And what they're trying to do, let's pull this back a little bit. What they're trying to do is get the under here, underneath of Queen, and then threaten with this over. So seeing if you can, get him to stay back and throw the under, which is what ends up happening late in the progression. But what's it do? It gives our pass rush time to get there. I mean, we own it. So I'm not saying we should play cover 3 all the time, but mixing it in with our Tampa 2, I think is a great idea. I don't know about you guys. Gives our pass rush the opportunity to get there. Yeah, it's a 2nd and long, so that's probably why we were playing it. Turned it into a 3rd and 5, which I think was followed by the completion to 85 and Njoku. All right, a couple situations I think here where Patrick Queen knows to play. I don't think it was communicated to him by anyone. I don't see anyone telling Pat this is a particular play, but look, you've got an unbalanced line, so the right tackle is over here to the left-hand side. So you've got guard, tackle, tackle to the Browns' left, our right. And then back here, you've got right guard and the tight end. So that tight end is eligible because he's not covered up. This tackle is ineligible, obviously, because he's covered up by this receiver here. Patrick Queen is looking for a specific read. He's looking for a specific key, and he gets it. He gets motion back here and understands it's going to be a pull to the strong side. Now, you may say, well, coach, the tight end's to the other side. You would call the strength to where you have a 3-man surface. Guard, tackle, tackle is 3. That's a 3-man surface. I think Patrick Queen and the defense knew the play, or at least they knew to play if you had a mesh between the quarterback and the running back. It's a beautiful play, man. Could watch this all day. When linebackers identify things pre-snap and they make snap decisions, what I call reads, it's a beautiful situation because you can take away something that a team does consistently just by being prepared as far as film goes. I just don't like him celebrating in the middle of this play. Hey, man, I'm glad if he's celebrating for Josh Bynes. Bynes missed the sack, obviously. This cool little X blitz, it looks like Queen first, Bynes second. They're under center. I thought we ran this on a rundown early. This looks like a rundown to me as well. I just don't want to see him celebrate in the middle of the play. I'd like to see him, you would say, hey, if you don't celebrate and you get there a split second sooner, we might be getting the ball out. You know what I mean? So, now that's kind of exaggerating it to your player because, the quarterback's going to try to protect the ball when he feels contact. But I just don't want to see him celebrate mid-play. Celebrate after the play. Show us your celebration after the play. But I guess the thing I will say is whenever you see a player celebrating for a teammate, that's a good thing. To me, that says something about that player. And we don't want him celebrating during the play. But to me, that says something about who he is inside and how he feels about the rest of his teammates, that he's ready to celebrate for a teammate making a play. Because believe it or not, maybe not in the NFL, maybe not in your experience, but there's a lot of people that don't really celebrate when someone else gets a catch. They don't really celebrate when someone else, scores a touchdown because they want their own shine. Patrick Queen looks like one of those guys that's playing well right now, getting plenty of shine and plenty of attention, and he's happy when other people get it too. Another tackle for loss. This little fold blocking scheme. Looked like to me they were trying to kick out JPP often. So they're going to go down with the tight end and then kick out, kind of like a belly play, except it's a draw with the quarterback. Queens read it, already threw, tight end can't get to him. Again, I think he recognized it. I think he recognized the formation. I think he recognized the situation that could lead to that play, and then he jumped it. Same play from the end zone angle. I'm not sure what he's signaling, but he definitely knows something because he walks up to the line. He shouldn't be there. I think the announcers, who generally were subpar, I thought they did a pretty good job with this one. I think it was Trent Green talked about it, but he shouldn't be here. There's a B gap player, all right? You got an open A gap. Then you've got a C gap inside the tight end. He shouldn't be here lined up there. The only reason, in my opinion, that he's there is because he understands the concept. Now, he understands the concept that's probably coming. I didn't see any pre-snap communication between him and Matabike, but it looks like to me he walks up in B, and then Matabike starts to slam A. So we're trying to, be gap sound in terms of being in A gap and B gap. But B gap has basically removed itself because you've got the tackle pulling out and then Njoku 85 trying to come down and block Queen. It's a beautiful play. Just the fact that he is recognizing things, he's acting on them, he's decisive. If he makes a mistake, at least it's decisive now, and it's an educated mistake. Like that right there, it could have been a different play. Maybe it's not a draw. Maybe it's a throw to the tight end, in that vacated space where Queen was initially lined up. To the boundary once again. I just think he's playing at a super high level right now, especially the last 3 games. 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, spectacular game against the Browns. We needed, every bit of it because the game was closer than we obviously wanted it to be, or at least closer than I wanted it to be. Let me know what you think of Patrick Queen's play. If we continue to get this level of play, this level of recognition, these decisive reads, his willingness to take on blocks, not run around them, his willingness to play downhill most of the time. And then, like I said, if we also get a higher level of pass drops to the boundary, I think we're in a really exciting situation to have a 23-year-old guy who, let's be honest, 4 weeks ago, there might not have been a lot of thought from us as fans, at least, about extending this guy. But if he can show this level of play for the whole season, number one, he's going to have a career year statistically. Number 2, he's going to change a lot of people's opinions about him, which I hope he don't care about. Like, for real, I hope he don't care at all. He shouldn't care what any of us think, including me. But we're all rooting for him. We're rooting for him to continue to play at this high of a level. Let me know what you think of Patrick Queen's play overall in 2022. Keeping in mind, like I said, that he's just turned 23 in August, and what you think of his explosive plays that he's turned in the last 3 or 4 weeks.